Everyone knows that the first few weeks as a new parent are stressful. They definitely were for my wife and I, who also hold full-time jobs and had limited ability to take time off. As soon as our first baby boy was born, we tried to draw on the books that we've read and the advice that we heard, only to find out that every baby is different and what works for some babies may not work for others. Even when we found what worked, it only worked some of the time, which made things more difficult. Other times, it felt like doing the opposite could work better. Rather than seeking more advice, we needed resources that would help us figure out more about our baby rather than babies in general. It seems obvious, but it's a different approach than trying everything you've heard or read until something works. Along the way, we found things that really helped us with our child and could help any parent learn how to handle their own neonate during those demanding first few weeks. Number 1. Consider getting an app that tracks feeding, sleeping and pamper changes. We started out with a few tracker apps when the baby was born to see which one worked best. Eventually, we landed on the Huckleberry app as our favorite. The app is easy to use and quickly lets you log in feeding, pooping and sleep time. At first, using the app only added to our stress as we juggled all of the things we still had to do for ourselves and for our baby. Within a few days though, having the app made sense. It gave some rhyme and reason to our often unreasonable newborn. The app helps to identify patterns between feeding, sleeping and pamper changes. As his feeding times expanded to every 3 hours and then every 4 hours, we were able to keep better track of his needs in terms of timing and volume. Sure, you can do this on a whiteboard on your fridge or on Excel, but the other added benefit to using an app is that you can have multiple usernames on the same account. We can log from anywhere and from both phones. This allowed for flexibility so that one of us could take a break and then pick up from where the other left off. Number 2. At the hospital, speak to the nurses as often as possible without annoying them. After your child is born, the nurses make their rounds every few hours to check in and are a great resource to answer questions specific to your child. We considered that their time was important and that we were only a part of their rounds, but rather than be annoyed, we found that the nurses were happy to answer our questions. During their rounds we got a free lesson on swaddling, learned how to properly angle the bottle for less airflow, and how to put them to bed without waking them, placing their tushy down first and then their head helps them feel like they are not falling from the sky. We also asked specific questions based on what we were seeing, hearing or smelling. Number 3. The temperature of the room plays a big role in your baby's comfort, and so we purchased a no Wi-Fi camera with a built-in thermometer. The camera itself could help you learn more about your baby as you watch them while you are doing chores or work, but the thermometer definitely helps as well. Our first baby was born during the summer, and so despite our best efforts, we found that the temperature would go above that sweet spot of 68 to 72 degrees. Even within that range, we learned that our child felt more comfortable at the lower end, towards 68. If you think 4 or 5 degrees won't really make a difference, just think of hearing. It will be 85 degrees today, or hearing, it will be 90 degrees today. Some people prefer the former and others the latter. To help settle on the right temperature, we considered the mix of clothing and thermostat level that worked best. Once we did, it made the difference between a 20-minute nap and a 2-hour nap. The better sleep helped him and it helped us too. Number 4. This one is more of a time saver than anything else. Things on our baby registry have gone unused. They weren't the wrong purchases because again, what is a must for one child may not be as necessary for another. While I can't tell you what you will need the most, I can say that there are some things out there that will definitely help you save time. 2 big time savers for us were a bottle warmer and bottle sterilizer. Like many newborns, our baby didn't take to breastfeeding right away, and so we often bottle fed him. The automatic bottle warmer is like an electric tea kettle or rice cooker in that it will get things right without you having to watch over it. While making life a little more hands-free, it gives time to clean a mess, tend to your crying baby, or to take a break. Next to it on the counter, we have the bottle sterilizer, which takes multiple bottles and pacifiers. It works a lot like a dishwasher in that you load it, set it, hit start and it beeps when it's done. It not only saved us time in cleaning and sterilizing, but also gave us peace of mind that what we were using was sterilized. Looking back, we were given a lot of advice. It was tough to choose which to follow, and often one piece of advice opposed the other. Even when we sought out the wisdom of the web, we found varied opinions from site to site and some things that just didn't work. My non-expert advice to you and these tips represent ways that we found out what works for our child through observation, technology and hands-on experts. Hopefully these ideas can lead to your own tips and tricks or can be useful for future children. Take a second to hit the like button and subscribe to see more videos like this one.